We hear a lot about the role of bond investors in this debt crisis. Let's speak to someone who understands how they are looking at this story. Bill Gross is the co-founder of PIMCO, the world's largest bond fund. He joins us now from Newport Beach, California. Bill, thanks for joining us. I want to pick up on something Nina just said. Lucas Papademos saying that he would consider a law to force creditors to take the haircut that Greece needs them to take. That is very new in the world of bond investors in sovereign debt.
Yeah, I think so. You know, changing the laws ex post is a pretty significant event. But whether they change the law or not, I think, Ali, Greece is going to default, whether explicitly or covertly via what they call voluntary agreements with creditors. I think what's important for investors to consider is that Greek haircuts are just an extreme form of ongoing solutions within Euroland and other developed country financial markets, primarily in Euroland. And creditors are going to get haircuts via either principal loss in Greece or negative real interest rates in what we call the cleanest dirty shirt countries. This is financial repression in a multitude of forms that's going to be with us for years to come.
I can't get enough of the cleanest dirty shirt idea. You're on a trip for 3 days, it all of a sudden goes to 4 days, and you got to go back into your pile of shirts and find the cleanest one. And as far as you are, the cleanest dirty shirt in the pile is U.S. debt, and you have increased your holdings in the PIMCO total return and your holdings overall in U.S. debt.
Yes, Will Rogers said way back in the 30s that, he was more concerned about the return of his money than the return on his money. It's certainly not the latter case in terms of U.S. Treasuries. You only get 1.9% on a 10-year Treasury, and so that's not much. But, your money's coming back, and hopefully in non-inflationary terms, as you just indicated with the Producer Price Index. So, it becomes a question of safety versus return. You can get 16% in Portuguese bonds, but are they safe? And that's the ultimate question.
What's the cost of a safe return? What's the cost? What do you get? What is the return that you can get, the best return you can get that means you'll get your money back?
Well, here's the setup, Ollie. I mean, in countries like the UK, the United States, Canada, Germany, these are clean, dirty shirt countries. Basically, interest rates, when you judge them on a real basis, are negative. I mean, basically, when you subtract the CPI or core inflation from these yields of 2% or so, basically you come up with nothing or having something taken from your pocket. So, it's important to look at that from the standpoint of purchasing power. These yields basically give you nothing in terms of CPI adjustments.
You participated in this great Barron's Roundtable that was printed up this weekend, where you say that you described Euroland as a dysfunctional family where the parental North, the responsible North, is dealing with the spoiled children of the South, and you suggested that by the time this group that you were with meets in a year, you will have seen countries depart the Eurozone in terms of currency, countries that use the euro leaving. How do you see that playing out?
Well, I see Greece first, and it could be a month or two before they, give up the ghost and depart the zone. But other countries as well, and it's hard to pick on, certain countries, but we know who they are. Portugal, Spain, perhaps. These are countries, Ali, that can't get out from under the burden of a currency from which they can't devalue. Basically in Spain and Portugal and Greece, their labor markets are extremely overvalued, and typically what a country does is basically devalue its currency in order to make their products more competitive. They can't do that because the currency is controlled by Germany, and the euro is still relatively strong.